We're off to Metropole, to the notary office to buy my new property. I sold my old place this year, and now that I had a load of cash, it felt as if I could finally do something. The thing I'd always wanted to do, which is build a little small holding or homestead somewhere remote in the wild. So what could I do that still felt true to my desire for eco-living? I could start with an eco-built cottage, an old ruined property I could fix up, and maybe, if I can sell it for a profit one day, a way to eventually afford land and everything else needed for a self-sufficient homestead. It's a long shot, but life feels more meaningful with a project like that. For me, it's about pushing the boat out and experiencing something beyond the mundane and the comfortable. I want to contribute, even in a small way, to a healthier planet, climate, and ecosystem. One angle is to demonstrate an ecologically friendly way of building. What fascinates me about these little cottages we've been exploring is how clearly they show a way of life that was inherently sustainable and low impact. They didn't have electricity or cars. They fed themselves and managed the environment with materials gathered from the land around them. Oak, timbers, stone walls, clay infill. The Bulgarians understand how beautiful it is to live this close to nature, and I'm incredibly lucky to have the chance to explore it, and maybe even own a piece of it. Well, I'm stoked. This cottage is the one for me. Let's buy it. I'm back at one of the properties which we've previously looked at. I'm quite keen to have another look and to see if the magic's still there. To see if it still makes me excited. And I think it does, actually. I'll show you. So, going up the track, there's the first view of the property. It's pretty much just a stable. On our second visit, we encountered a herd of horses, and later we met the lovely chap who keeps them in the valley, not for food, just cared for every day. He even uses the basement of the cottage to store the hay.
Dad, there's so many of them. Do you see my favorite one?
I think it's pregnant, it's so big.
We're following you.
It's much cooler up here. It's 38 degrees back down the valley bottom. Dave's orchard. It's by far the most remote and the cheapest at 6,500 euros, high in the hills, deep in the beech forest with a perfect stream running through the valley. On the satellite map, we could see the forest stretching for miles and the faint outlines of other buildings. Curious to explore more, my brilliant camera operator launched the drone to see what was out there. Wow! 4 or 5 more cottages, forming a little abandoned hamlet tucked into the upper valley. It hasn't changed since the 1800s, kept clear by grazing animals. We could see that this house was slightly grander, with great oak joists and these carved purlins and stone floors. This is a high-end property. The cheese house doesn't have fancy beams like that. But what's striking is how far the roof overhangs, and the size of the beams. The valley would once have been alive with a multifunctional system of grazing animals, honeybees, fields of grain, cheese making and firewood harvesting. You can still see the old scythes hanging up, and beehives forgotten since the keepers passed away, timbers ready to repair a roof that never got fixed. It's too much of a dream to think I could revive a whole village, but it's fun to imagine how it was and how it could be again. There's great potential in buying up more of the land and properties. At the very least, it's a fantastic selling point. Okay, we need to buy this house and the 3 houses above it. Let's go. We're going to go to the local bank now to make the transfer to buy the house, and it's Dimitar's cousin, so that's useful. She works there.
Okay. Okay,
Alright,
go,
let's go
go.
pay some money.
Ciao, ciao.
Много благодаря. Много благодаря. And good luck for the future.
Yeah, thank you. Благодаря.
Thank you, sir. Super. All right. I've got my documents. Yeah.
You are free to become a manager of this company.
Finally, a project I can get my teeth stuck into. So I bought the place for 1/10 of the price of my old home, which leaves some cash spare to start preparing for a build project. Sit back and watch some of the delightful footage we have of the herd of horses that came to visit, and this mess of a ruin that I seem to have bought for myself. So yeah, it looks like quite a lot of work. What have I got myself into?